Hello, what's good YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well today, and it is finally here, Trading with Smarba, another episode. We're going to go ahead and use Chelsea. And for anyone who has not watched any of these Trading with Smarba episodes, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys how I trade and what I do for these episodes. So each episode, I pick one club I trade with, and I try to make anywhere between 10 to 15,000 coin profits, and only trading for about 20 minutes max. You guys can see my coin total up there in the right-hand corner, almost at 1,700,000 coins. I sold Team of the Year Iniesta, and just decided to get rid of him. Probably a dumb mistake. I wanted to try other Team of the Year players, to be honest with you guys, so I can review them for you. I'm probably going to try out Team of the Year Xavi, but I wasn't really impressed with him so far in the 4-3-3, so I'm going to try to figure out what formation he works best. But with that said, for those of you guys who have not watched any of my Trading with Smarba episodes, I'm going to go ahead and go over what I actually do when I trade. So anytime I trade, I always use a formation that is popular. I feel like you just guarantee yourself that the card will sell. So I stick to the 4-1-2-1-2. I do have enough coins to trade with it. Obviously, this method, especially using Chelsea and the players I'm using in this episode, you're going to need a decent amount of coins, but this concept can apply to any club. So just use the concepts and put them into your own trading methods, and you'll eventually make profit. So what I actually do is I go ahead and put it on whatever player I'm looking for. In this case, it was Ashley Cole, and then I try to figure out what his going rate was, and it seemed to be about 20,500. And then what you want to do is you want to subtract 5% of 20,500, and you guys can actually see someone seemed to be doing this, as someone already bid 18,000 on every single Ashley Cole. So what I did is I went ahead and bid 18,250, so that if I sell them for 20,500 and then you count in the EA tax, you'll still make 1,000 coins profit, roughly 1,000 coin profit. So that's perfect. So I go ahead and I bid 18,250 coins on every single Ashley Cole that I see up to an hour. I don't want my coins staying around for about, all those 12-hour bids. In fact, I think I did make a mistake by bidding on one of them that was listed for about 12 hours. But as I said, guys, when I first thought about trading with Chelsea, I was like, man, maybe this isn't a great idea. I don't really know who I can trade with them. They're a bit expensive. They probably won't go as much as I want them to. So then I started looking. I'm like, you know what? This isn't a bad team to trade with. They got Ramirez, they got David Luiz, they got Czech, they got all these different players that you can trade, especially their defenders. And you guys know, if you guys have watched my Trading with Smarba episodes, you guys know that I love trading with defenders. I just feel like they're the easiest to get rid of. I feel like their prices are in the sweet spot that I like, and the sweet spot price that I like is really between 12,000 to 20,000 coins. I feel like that's the most effective trading that you can do, is if you can find a player that's between that range right there, 12,000 or 20,000, you really can do some effective trading if you have a lot of coins. As you guys can see, I seriously just throw out bids left and right to as many players as I can. But before I do that, I always check the going rate. You guys see me here checking for what David Luiz is going for. And actually, I was surprised that he was going for what he was going for. So I put the buy now on 7,000 just to see if that's really what he's going for. So I put it there. See that there's multiple pages of him at that rate, and I'm like, wow, he's actually going for this much. People are actually buying him for 7,000, which is surprising because early on in the year he was going for about 1,500 to 3,000 coins. Nothing crazy, but his price jumped up quite a bit. It's probably because people have noticed that he's still a beast. A lot of people were giving negative reviews about him earlier in the year, saying, "Oh, he's not as good as last year. He sucks. He pushes up too much because of his high attacking work rate," which is true. Sometimes he's out of position, but dude, he is still a monster this year on Ultimate Team. I have a lot of trouble when I come up against him. He's still one of those annoying cheap defenders that you can come up against. So I decided to go ahead and invest a couple of thousand coins throughout his cards, see if I can pick any up. And guys, if you don't win cards, that's okay. This is going to happen. You just want to go out and bid as much as possible, but always do your math. Whether it's doing it through a calculator, whether it's getting an online calculator, whatever you got to do, make sure you do your math. You got to take 5% off the going rate and then subtract another 1,000 off that, so that you always make 1,000 coin profit. That's the way I trade. That's the way that seemed the most effective for me. I've made over 500,000 profit this year, let alone of just trading for 20 minutes a day. This episode literally took me about 20 minutes to record, and then I left the cards overnight, woke up the next morning, did recorded all of my profits, and then that's it. 20 minutes. That's all I did. Just I left the bids, went off, did my own thing, came back tomorrow morning. Boom. I had won some players. I had sold some players, and that's all I did. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are frustrated because you're not winning players, try to do it at different times of the day. I'm from the US, so it's a bit easier for me to trade, believe it or not, because obviously the majority of the people who play Ultimate Team are in the UK for the most part, or in Europe, and the time that the market gets the most traffic is during about 6 p.m. UK time, so that's 12 p.m. US time. And when I trade, it's usually late at night, so all the UK guys are sleeping. There's not much competition to outbid me, so that's why it's easy for me. So if you're in the UK, try trading in the morning. I know it's some of you, you got school, you got work. It's probably a little bit difficult to do, but if you got the phone, that web app, if you got anything to go on the web app and just throw out some trades, and if you can, maybe you got your phone with you, you're on your way to school, whatever it may be, and you can throw out some trades on some cards, that's really the best time to do it. If you absolutely cannot trade in the morning UK time, I would just wait until the auction house is a little bit died down, and you can check that literally by seeing how many items are on the auction house. I mean, if you see if it's lower the items, the easier it is to start winning cards, because the competition that you'll have decreases. It just means that there aren't really that many people online at that current time. Now, when it's a large amount of items on the auction house, that's really the best time to go and invest into, formation cards, all those consumables, because there's so many of them put up on the auction house, or the auction search, whatever you want to call it, because of the amount of packs that are being opened. If you guys noticed, the team of the week this week, it's got informed David Silva and informed Di Maria. Seems like a lot of people do want them. Unfortunate that David Silva came out as a left mid. I don't really like that he came out as a left mid, but it still seems like people are opening packs. If you guys want to get some deals on formation cards, I suggest you go out and do so, especially during happy hour. That's really the best time. But you guys can see that I've noticed that Ramirez is actually a really, really good person to trade with. He's very sought after. He's in the BPL, obviously. He's Brazilian, which is a huge thing. Everyone loves Brazilians. And look at that. I find one for 12,250 coins. And then I'm like, wait a second. Is that right? Should I bid on it? Because that's exactly the amount I need to bid to make 1,000 coins. And look at that one. Someone bid it before me. But there's one more put up, and I snatched it. So I easily make 1,000 coins on that, because I'll be listing it for 14,000. So if you do the math, that's roughly about 1,000 coin profit. So that's perfect. You always need to pay attention to the players you're trading with, see who's there, see who's available, and if you run into a deal, snatch it right away. I was a little bit slow not to pick up the first one, but that's okay. We still get this one, and it's going to end up selling for 14,000 without an issue. Again, he's very, very popular, Ramirez is. He's got pace. He plays perfect as a CDM, no complaints, and he sells quickly. So if I had to do this again, guys, my suggestion would be I would not pick Ashley Cole as someone to trade with. And look at this. You guys can see my watch list. I traded on so many players, and I'll lose a lot of them, which is not an issue at all. If I lose over half of these, not a problem. I'm only looking to win about 15 to 20 of them, because if I win about 15 to 20 of them and I sell them, it's about 20,000 coin profit. So that's easy, easy money. Easy money, as Kobe Bryant says. Easy money. Easy money. So, as long as you just go with the flow, pick the players that are popular that will sell in the good formations, you'll be A-okay. And stick to one formation, guys. If you guys are doing this, stick to one formation. You can do the 4-2-3-1, 4-1-2-1-2, 3-5-2, whatever it may be. Just stick to one formation. And here you guys can see I'm just throwing out bids on as many cards as I can. And if I lose them, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. So, you're going to lose a lot of these players. And I see you guys make the comments in my videos saying, I can't win any of the players. I don't know how you trade, man. I just can't do it. You just got to keep bidding on as many players as you can. Eventually, you will win some. I'm not even getting into bid wars with these. I'm just literally placing the bid and walking away from my console for like an hour and then coming back. That's all I do. I'll come back and I'll have plenty of them won. So that's the method I use. But as I was saying, if I were ever to do this again, if I were ever to pick Chelsea as a club to trade with again, honestly, the 3 people I would use would be Ramirez, David Luiz, and Juan Mata. I really think those 3 players are great players to trade with. Ashley Cole was good at first, but he sells slower for some reason. Usually when I list up the players, they sell the first time around. Ashley Cole, I had to list up 2 or 3 times before he finally sold. Czech also was okay. He wasn't too bad. He would sell, but I'd have to relist him multiple times. But Ramirez, literally the first time I put him up, he would sell. He seems really popular. So stick to players that you know will sell right away. You want to get your return as soon as possible. So the next day you're really trying to get your return overnight. You know, you're really trying to get your return overnight and seeing what you can do. As you guys can see, the 4 players we used here was Czech. I did end up getting Juan Mata in a center forward position for pretty cheap, trying to sell him. But I went ahead with Ashley Cole, David Luiz, and who was the last one? Ivanovic was the last one that I wanted to trade with. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next day and see. Well, actually, no, I want to show you guys what my watch list looked like. So let's go ahead and jump into the watch list real quick here. So we we sped up the video a little bit here, so it's not too long. We're already at 11 minutes, and I don't want this video to bore you guys to death here. But you guys can see I'm just throwing out bids on Czech real quick, up to an hour. And then we go to our watch list. We already won 1 Ashley Cole. And you guys see I already lost a bunch of them. Lost Ramirez, a couple of them. So it's not a big deal, guys. Not a big deal at all. Don't worry about it. Just keep trucking through. Keep doing it. Eventually you'll get it. Eventually you'll find that sweet spot of what coins to bid on. Eventually you'll find the sweet spot of when to trade, what times of the day. It works different for everybody. But I don't get into bid wars. So if someone outbids me, okay, go ahead, take it. That's it. I don't have to worry about getting into bid wars or anything like that whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump even further to show you guys what my watch list looked like, and then I'm gonna show you guys what my trade pile looked like the next day. So as you guys can see, I've went ahead and won quite a few of them, and I'm going to list them all for 12 hours, and I'm going to list them all for about 1,000 coins profit on each and every one. And I guarantee you guys that most of them will sell, even if it takes a couple of tries. I just keep listing them up for 12 hours every time they don't sell, but they will eventually sell because obviously since you have so many of them and you're placing them all up at the same time, you're kind of almost, I don't want to say you're price fixing, but you're almost kind of controlling the market by placing, 4 or 5 of them at the same price. Yeah, you're kind of forcing people to buy it eventually at your price. So regardless if you're not the cheapest card on the market, you are still good to go. And you guys can see I'm just listing them up, all of them for 12 hours. And instead of seeing me list every single one up, let's go ahead and jump to the trade pile the next morning. Alrighty, so we've went ahead and jumped to the next morning. You guys see that 7 Chelsea players have sold, 3 of them being Ramirez, since he seems to be the most popular, as I said in the beginning of this episode. So that's 7,000 coins in profit, with a bunch of them still left on the market to sell, and they will sell. I have no doubt in my mind that they will sell. So that's about 15,000 coins profit at the end of this when they all sell, and that was easy 20 minutes of trading. I literally bid for 20 minutes, walked away from my console, came back, put them up overnight, and boom. That's all I did. Very, very easy. 15,000 coins in about 30 minutes worth of my time. That's nothing, man. That's easy money. If you guys want to do this method and you just don't have the coins to use these players, you can use any club. Just stick within your realm. Just stick within your realm. If you guys got 50,000 coins, 30,000 coins, pick clubs that have cheaper players. That's all you got to do. It's very easy. This is the easiest way to trade. If you guys do this method, I guarantee you'll be successful. And I've seen a lot of people message me on YouTube, on Xbox, and they say, man, thank you so much. I've watched so many videos, and all of them are just complicated methods that kind of are based on luck. This one's just, proven to work. It's very easy. It's literally the easiest thing you can do. If you guys like this episode, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. And if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily uploads. We got trading, we got gameplay, we got all that good stuff. If you guys have questions for me, leave them in the comment section below. You guys all have a good night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Lates.